Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is early in the morning. I have to be at work at 8 o'clock and I thought today would be the perfect day to show you a really quick 10-minute makeup, and I literally have about 20 minutes before I have to leave, so this literally needs to be 10-minute makeup. So I have laid out a few of my favorite products for when I am in a rush. Sometimes I will switch it up a little bit, but this is the general gist of what's easy for me. So hopefully this will help you guys get out the door when you need to, and yeah. I don't have a lot of time, so let's jump right in. While I'm getting started, make sure to subscribe, you know, all that good stuff. So when I'm in a rush, I like for my primer to be kind of a double duty. So I'm going to use the CoverGirl True Blend Base Business Color Neutralizing Primer. I like this one because it's a really good priming for your canvas, but it color neutralizes to help me cover up some of this pink and red in my cheeks because I don't have time to use a color corrector. I don't have time to use a full coverage foundation and really blend it out like crazy. So I need it to be in a hurry and quick. So I smoothed that absolutely everywhere. This one has a little stickiness to it. It feels a little bit more hydrating, which I love. So that's the priming. That's all that I do. So now I'm going to go in with a foundation that's got somewhat of a lighter coverage. This is the Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation. This has an SPF 15. I'm gonna go light on my makeup. So to me, it doesn't make sense to do full coverage foundation and then go in with, you know, the lightest of makeup everywhere else. It doesn't balance it to me. So I'm going very light. I'm also gonna go to the gym after work. So I want something that is gonna allow my skin to breathe. It's not gonna be heavy. It's not gonna clog my pores when I go and sweat at the gym. So I'm going to use my Stands Out Beauty Sponge. It's really, really dirty, but that's what happens when you're in a hurry, right? So this one you can use dry, and that's the reason why I'm using this one. Also, it blends out pretty much everything. So no matter what I'm using, it will blend out. So I'm going to use it for many things this morning. So I've got a little bit of the skin foundation, and I'm just going to start patting away. And you're going to see that it's not a whole lot of coverage. This sponge is gonna shear it out a little bit, but because it's not wet, it really doesn't shear it out that much. So this is a lighter coverage. This may be a little bit light on me, but that's okay because we're gonna go for a soft, bronzy, glowy look. That's my go-to in a hurry makeup anyway. I'm not really too worried about blending it down the neck. It is a little bit light, but I'm gonna bronze up, so I'm not too concerned about doing that. So I just grabbed my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Chantilly, which is nice and light. I like this one because it will still give me a lot of coverage under the eye where you can tell I didn't get enough sleep, but it's still kind of luminous. It's still creamier in texture, so it's not going to be dry and heavy and kind of like a telltale sign that I don't have on much foundation. I'm going to take the same sponge. So you can use this portion to do your concealer. I just like the corner of the outside here is my favorite way to put it on. But I love this sponge because you can literally use it for everything. And the fact that I don't have to run out there and wet it saves me about a minute. Because usually with my beauty blender, I wash it. Kind of breaks it down a little bit faster, but I noticed that my pores don't get clogged. I don't break out as much. With this one, not wet, it doesn't seem to cause me any issues. When I'm in a hurry, I'm going to go in with all my cream products before even setting my under eye. I will go in and just smooth the under eye out again, but I'm going to just quickly throw on my cream products. So the first one I'm going to use is this Kaja, this little blush. It's the little stamp one. I honestly love this. I've only used it once or twice so far. So you've got your little stamp, and then it is a cushion product. I also really love cushion compacts. I honestly can't find any of mine right now, so I don't know where they went. But what I'm going to do is just stamp, going a little bit higher with the blush. Oops, a little off. That's okay. So just getting it on there, and then I am going to turn my sponge onto the side and blend this out. And when in doubt, if it's looking splotchy or too heavy, you can always go back to your foundation side. I am keeping this rather soft, so you may not see a huge difference there. Now I'm going to take my Milani Contour and Highlight Little Duo. I love the contour portion of this. So I'm going to go ahead and throw on some contour on the forehead, and then focusing mainly on the cheekbones and forehead and jawline. I love because you can go kind of heavy with this, and honestly it's still going to blend out nicely, and you can go ahead and do your whole face, and it doesn't seem to give me any trouble blending. I'm going to use a little bit of the highlight on the other end, just kind of dabbing on. I'm only going to do it on the cheekbones. The highlight portion of this doesn't always want to blend that well, especially on the nose for whatever reason. Alright, so now I am going to set my face. The first thing I'm going to do is take regular Laura Mercier powder. I'm going to dip in directly with a sponge and go on my T-zone, focusing on the nose, right into the cheeks just a little bit. I'm setting all the places where I would typically get oily throughout the day. I'm actually going to take the glow powder and do like one little kick in there and then mix the two. So I'm going to take this Real Techniques kabuki brush. It's one of my favorites. And then I'm going to just stamp this everywhere where I haven't already powdered, especially down the neck where I've blended primer, foundation, and contour. And my purpose here is to just lightly powder. I don't want to go too heavy. So what I like to do with dry hands is just gently pat, and you can feel if it's tacky anywhere, if you really need any extra powder. I'm feeling a little tackiness on my jawline where I have all that contour. So I'm taking just a bit more powder and stamping anywhere where I have a little too much tackiness. So everything's looking pretty natural. I feel more evened out, I'm more comfortable. I do want some brows on, and on a day like today, I'm gonna pick out whichever brow is the quickest for me. So I'm gonna use Anastasia Brow Definer. I have the color Soft Brown. And the name of the game here is natural, not perfection, because I can look at my brows all day long and always find something that I could have done better. I could have filled this spot in better. I could have done this. I could have blended. I could have done... It's just not worth it on a day like today. And a lot of times on a day like today, I feel like it's easier to just go really fast on your brows, make mistakes, and go back in and clean it up rather than trying to be so precise the first time around. So I'm literally taking a little bit of my concealer. I have a little angled brush. This is Wet n Wild. And I'm going to load that brush up with some concealer, brush off the excess, and then just go around. And again, I'm not looking for perfection, but I do want it to look decent. And this will fix the mistakes that I made. That looks good enough for me. I'm not too worried about much else. So I really only have a couple minutes at this point. So I'm going to add just a bit more color to the face. I'm going to take my Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer, and I'm going to use the big Real Techniques once again and just kind of warm up the face. Not worried too much about precision. I just want a little warmth. So now I'm going to take my Lunatics Cosmetic Contour Palette and a blush brush. This one's from Lancome. It's old as heck. I'm mixing my two favorite contour shades, actually my four, and I'm going to take it up higher, getting that into the hairline, jawline. Okay, so that's that. I am now going to take a big fluffy eyeshadow brush and go into this contour shade, and all I'm going to do is just go into the crease and create just a little dimension, and you can see it's going to come out pretty warm at first. I don't really have anything on my eyelids, so this is going to stick. Just got a little bit of foundation, and then since that's looking a little unblended, taking this yellow shade, which is like a matte, and just gonna go below and above. This makes a subtle difference, but to me it's worth it to take this 1 minute. A bit of highlight because I want this look to be glowy. I've got Ofra Beverly Hills, and I'm gonna focus more on this light gold shade. Just picking that up with my little Sephora Pro Fan Detail Brush. And highlight. And because the face is not thoroughly set, it's still got just this little stick to it, the highlight's gonna pop a bit more, and you don't need much. It's gonna look very glowy. I'm gonna finish it off with some Milk Mascara. This is the Kush.
The sprayer is not good. Okay, come on, Tarte. Make your baby spray. I like this little spurt in the middle. Ugh.
I'm just going to use a little Tarte H2O gloss. This is in the shade Hang 10. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick 10-minute makeup routine. It's definitely a go-to of mine, and I'm in a hurry now, so thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave me a comment below and let me know, do you like this look? Is this something that you do on a daily basis? And what other videos you'd like to see from me? I'd love to know. Thanks guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye.